Greetings, folks. T-Mot back again for another drive time. As always, if you can like it, you can share it. See first to understand, then to be understood. Never take the light of truth and place it under a basket. Always take it past where you found it. Boy. There are many people who are sweating bullets over this Trump issue. So I need to break this down for you. I did this on my Facebook wall, but I think I need to do it again so that you understand what is actually happening. So I'm going to kind of go back in time for you. Before I do that, I want to say this. The more they investigate Trump, 2 years now, and even prior to him becoming president, let's just say 2.5 years, the more they investigate Trump, the more they reveal their own crimes. Think about what I just said. Let that sink in. The more they dig on Trump, the more we find out how crooked they are. And we're talking about Nadler, James Comey, McCabe. I mean, I could go on and on. Biden, his son, who Cory Booker called a crackhead. That's Democrats turning on each other. But let's get to the meat of what's happening with this impeachment. Months ago, when they were first talking about the impeachment, I told you all not to worry. When the Democrats took over the House, I said, do not worry. They will pass all types of legislation in the House, but it will not make it to the Senate floor. It'll stop right there. And that's what has been happening. Red flag laws, gun control laws, all types of things that they have put forward, but it ain't went nowhere. Because the Republicans in the Senate know better if they want to stay in office. Now, you do need to check them. You do need to check the rhinos. Because Jeff Flake said he knows, and somebody pointed out that Flake is no longer in office. That's not the damn point. It's a statement that he made. Privately, he knows 35 senators. And I'm assuming that the reason he made the statement is because they are allegedly Republicans, because we already know that the Democrat senators are going to vote to convict, but the majority of the Republican senators better not. Now let's run through what's happening. All of the investigations on Trump have failed. Let me count the ways. James Comey investigated Trump. He came up with nothing. All right, not a thing. After James Comey, they had a number of hearings. Paul Manafort, he was convicted, but it had nothing to do with Trump or his campaign. Comey, he was convicted, but it had nothing to do with Trump's campaign. Nothing hit Trump because Trump had not done a thing. Stormy Daniels had nothing to do with Trump's campaign, and at the end of it, Avenatti is on trial himself for stealing money from his clients. So, but Democrats are ignoring all of that, and I'll tell you why. And I got unfriended by this because of the statement that I'm about to make. Democrats don't care because they know that their constituents, liberal Democrats, are fools in the first order. And they don't care about any of these failed attempts. As long as they continue to put the information out there in the news, the Democrats are hoping that the scandal alone will cause Trump to be defeated. But they will not prevail. So after those hearings, we then end up with the investigation by Mueller. And we all know what happened with that. Mueller got up there and just completely embarrassed himself. It became painfully obvious that the man didn't even know what was in the damn report that bore his name. But the Democrats are determined. So when they tried the impeachment the first time, they knew they had not a leg to stand on because nothing else had worked. So now we're at round 2 on the impeachment. So again, one of the members of Congress at the hearing stated that they don't have the votes in the House to impeach. I'm not sure about that, and I hope I'm wrong. But I think they have the votes because the hate for Trump is enormous. You even got heels up Kamala Harris talking about Trump needs to have his Twitter account shut down. A lawyer talking about stopping a man from exercising his First Amendment right. Y'all let that sink in. Now, what they're doing with this particular investigation, you have a whistleblower who had no first-hand knowledge. That's number one. Somebody told the whistleblower, and the person that told the whistleblower is that spy that Trump was talking about that's in his administration. Then before the information that the whistleblower was told was made public, it was drafted by lawyers. That's right, lawyers who work for the Democrat, probably the DNC is probably who they're paid by. They drafted the complaint. Now, the complaint told two basic lies. Lie number one, Trump was strong-arming the president of the Ukraine. Lie number two, Trump said he would withhold funding from the Ukraine if they did not investigate Joe Biden. If you read the transcript, you will see that that did not happen. No money was mentioned. Ukraine didn't even know that the money that was coming to them in the first place was on hold, and Trump didn't mention it. The president of Ukraine came out and verified that Donald Trump did not try to coerce him. Now, these are the two people in the conversation, and the transcript shows that that did not take place. But they told the lie anyway in the draft that was made public, the complaint by the whistleblower. So that's a major point, but they don't care. So what are they doing now? They had a hearing because they now want to change the rules of the judiciary to make it easier to impeach Trump. Do you remember when the Republican Party, when they didn't want Ron Paul to be able to be nominated from the floor, what did they do at the last minute? They changed the rules to prevent him from being nominated on the floor. Before the rules changed, if you had a plurality of 8 states, you could be nominated from the floor, meaning if you won 8 states. Ron Paul had that. They changed the rules and made it 12, I believe, which knocked Ron Paul out of the box. So that is what you see happening here in the House with the Judiciary Committee. They are going to change the rules to make it easier to impeach Trump. It is completely baseless, but that does not matter. With the change of the rules, they will be able to impeach Trump. Now, calm the hell down. Calm the hell down. 2 presidents have been impeached before in our history. Andrew Johnson, Bill Clinton. It didn't stop a damn thing because they were not convicted in the Senate. Trump will not be drummed out of office even if they impeach them. So now you ask, well then, why are they going through the trouble? The hope is to be able to run this narrative. This president is a crook. He is a criminal. He was impeached, but because they have a majority in the Senate, we were not able to drum this Republican, this criminal, this racist, this misogynist, all of that is going to come. We were not able to run him out of office. That will be the narrative if they are successful in their endeavor to impeach. So the hope is that the scandal will bring about a fervor amongst those fools who support Democrats like Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, okay? The fools who support them will go out in droves because they know that Donald Trump is slated to win in a landslide. This is why that guy, the king of the Rat City, Baltimore, his name is escaping me right now. This is why he said we must impeach Trump, because we will not be able to defeat him in 2020. That is the fear of the Democrats. But I am telling you to fear not. They have failed everywhere. And the only crimes that they have been revealing is not the crimes of Donald Trump, but the crimes of the DNC, of Hillary Clinton. Now, the big dogs in all of this is going to be Loretta Lynch, James Comey, because some other charges are going to come, James Comey, Barack Obama, and I think I said Hillary Clinton. Oh, Department of Justice, Loretta Lynch. Those are the big dogs. All of these other people that are doing the bidding, they're just what we are finding out as we move forward. But charges are coming. Barr is working overtime on making this happen. Rudy Giuliani. Now you got Kamala Harris saying Trump should be banned from social media, but in particular Twitter. You got Joe Biden's campaign contacting the networks and telling them not to allow Rudy Giuliani to come on and speak unless they give equal time to a surrogate of theirs. Well, why won't Joe Biden go? Because they know Joe Biden will go and put his foot in it and probably admit to all of the things that they have been doing. And one last point, and then I'm going to close. It was okay for them to spy on Trump, but it's not okay for Trump to inquire as to whether or not somebody committed a crime. And understand something. The Ukrainians, they offered the information before Trump even spoke on it. You got a prosecutor, an affidavit, and Rudy Giuliani, man, he played 3D chess on them like 90 going off. Let me tell you what the 3D chess was. They asked Rudy Giuliani, why haven't anybody brought any charges? Why hasn't this been investigated? Why didn't you go to the Department of Justice or the FBI? And Rudy Giuliani, man, he played him. He said, because had I gone, y'all would have claimed that I had an ulterior motive for going and that I was working on behalf of Trump to try and give cover to him. So what I did instead, I took these affidavits and put them out there online for you to pick them up, made it available to everybody, told everybody that they were out there. But what happened? You did absolutely nothing. Now that it's coming to light, you want to ask me why I didn't go. Well, that's why I didn't go. I wanted it to make its way into the daylight on its own by attrition. As y'all fall one by one, these things start to come out. And that's exactly happened with Joe Biden and his son. That is why people are always saying Trump is 3 or 4 moves ahead, or Trump is playing 4D chess. The man is a master when it comes to dealing with people, the art of the deal. I don't care what you say. I mean, I have a newfound respect for him, not just as a president, but as the singular president who has gone into office, a non-politician, and has been endeavoring and fighting to keep all of the promises that he made. You can't name another politician that has done that. Now, I know some of you are going to throw out Justin Amash before he revealed that he was a rhino. You're going to throw out Thomas Masson. You're going to throw out Rand Paul. But let me give you a harsh reality. And it doesn't mean that I have no respect for them or Ron Paul. It doesn't mean that at all. But they were unable to change the course of this country. They did not expose the criminality or bring about the exposure of the criminality of those that are operating in D.C. Trump has been draining the swamp, and I still remember when he was picking his cabinet and everybody who was a never Trumper were all going bat-dung crazy. That, see, there he is. He's bringing the swamp back in. What has happened to all of those people? They are gone. They are not there. They were drained. Okay? And I don't even have enough time. I've been talking now 15 minutes. I could talk for another half hour about the things that Donald Trump has done that no president has been able to accomplish successfully since the days of Ronald Reagan or JFK. There are none. And more importantly, Hank Sullivan and I, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that idiot, Hank Johnson, but Hank Sullivan and I are always talking about the Federal Reserve. If we don't get rid of the Federal Reserve, nothing else matters. Trump is addressing the Federal Reserve. Hank posted his latest tweet about the Fed, and I put it out there too. The Federal Reserve does not want Trump to be successful because they know Trump is after them. They know that Trump knows that the Federal Reserve is the slave master of every single tax-paying American. And that is the vehicle by which the 1% transfers the wealth of this country and other countries to themselves. That is it. T-Mod out. Drive time till next time. I hope you learned something. If you just joined on the video, you need to go back and hit it from the beginning. But the bottom line that you need to remember is calm the hell down. Do not worry about this impeachment. Trump will be president in 2020. If you're a Christian, you need to be praying that God places a hedge of protection around him, keep the angels around him, and keep Trump prayed up and armored up with the full armor of God. T-Mod out. Drive time till next time.